Racing will begin in 2 minutes. Again, it's the third eight category. 2 minutes until racing. In the video if you want. Good afternoon, everyone. JU versus UCF Duel, formerly known as the Tricus Cup. Tonight, after racing commences or finishes, the teams will come together and eat a really great dinner together, and it's graciously donated by the Tricus family. And UCF is so thankful, and so is JU for the Tricus family and their continued support for the team. In lane 4, we have UCF third 8. In lane 3, we have Jacksonville third 8. Lane 4 is the lane closest to the screen. Lane 3 is going to be farthest from the screen. So farther from the screen is the lesser lanes, closest to the screen is the higher lanes. Again, lane 4, we have UCF third 8. Lane 3, we have JU third 8. Should get racing going here soon. Boats are still getting aligned. It's a bit windy out on the course today, so girls are going to be looking to get those blades in quick. And again, in lane 4, we have UCF, third 8. Lane 3, we have JU, third 8. Still getting these boats aligned, bow ball to bow ball. We should get going here in the second half. Quick start. Rowers have begun the race. They're in their first high strokes of the race. Again, lane 4, we have UCF. Lane 3, we have JU. This is the third 8 category. Looks like we've got JU up, or UCF up. A couple seats now. UCF up 2 seats. UCF foul ball up 2 seats. JU hanging in there. Getting those blades in, looking strong. This headwind. We've got UCF foul ball up. 3 seats foul ball up. JU sitting in second place, still hanging on strong. UCF foul ball up. 4 seats now. They're walking. UCF walking. JU looks like they're hanging on there. Maybe walking a couple seats back. UCF sitting 3 seats up on JU. JU walked a seat. UCF still got their foul ball up. Lengthening it out. Long, steady strokes. Yep, UCF's walking on JU here. UCF looking strong, so is JU. Getting their blades in this wind. Getting those patches in. UCF 6 seats up. UCF 6 seats up. UCF's walking. UCF talks in on foul seat of JU. UCF continue to make moves on JU. Alright, we've got UCF crossing the first 250 here. JU crossing the first 250 here, just behind them. Alright, we've got UCF foul ball ahead of JU here. UCF Toxin sitting on foul ball of JU. UCF up a boat length on JU. JU looking strong here in this first 500 of the race. Second 500 of the race. He's got UCF up, continuing to walk on JU here. UCF up a boat length. UCF up a boat length. JU getting those catches in, looking strong here. We've got quite a strong side wind here, so girls are looking to get that technique down. UCF foul ball still up, gaining some water on JU here. JU continuing to look strong and tough in this wind. We've got UCF approaching the 1K, approaching halfway to the race. UCF's opening up on JU, open water on JU. JU looking strong here, pushing with those legs. Toxin is letting them know they're about to cross that 1K. UCF's coming up to the 1K mark here. Crossing. Now, UCF's crossed the 1K mark. JU following suit here, a couple meters. And JU's crossed the 1K mark. Both entering the second half of the race. JU looking strong. UCF still got their bow ball ahead. They've got about a boat length and a half of open water on JU here. JU getting their blades in. Looking extra strong here in this third 500. Third 500 is the bread and butter of this weekend. UCF still pulling away from JU. across the finish line. JU, the last few strokes of the race here. Last 50 meters. Pushing strong. And JU is finished. Good job, ladies. That was their third 8 race.
We're good. Rapid's good.
In just about 10 minutes here, we're going to be starting that third 4 race. 10 minutes. We're making our way up to the start right now for the third 4 race. Starting in a few minutes here. Third 4 race. All right, welcome back everyone. We're getting ready here for our third 4 race. First race, it was the third 8, and UCF took home the first place. JU took home the second place. We're just getting lined up here for that third 4 race. In lane 4, closest to the screen, we have JU. Lane 3 is UCF. And in lane 5, we will have the Central Florida Women's Club team. But in lane 3 and 4, we'll have the third 4 for JU and UCF. And in lane 5, we'll have Central Florida Women's Club team in an 8. Boats are still getting aligned here. We've got lane 5, closest to us is the Central Florida Women's Club team in an 8. In lane 4, we have the JU third 4. And in lane 3, farthest from the screen, is going to be UCF's third 4. We're going to get going here in a second once we have alignment with the boats. Today we're going to be doing quick starts off the line as we have a pretty strong cross tail wind coming in from the northeast. Again, Central Florida Women's Club team in 8 here, lane 5. Lane 4, we have JU third 4. Lane 3, we have UCF third 4. 500. Central Florida crossed the 500. We have JU crossed the 500. All boats in the second 500 of the race. Golden Northeast stroke seats, Izzy Bates. 3 seats, Sophia Palacios. 2 seats, Alina Tasman. Bow seat in that UCF 4. We have Hannah Gary as the coxswain. UCF continuing to pull away. UCF has open water on both the JU4 and Central Florida 8. JU's foul ball just pushed ahead of that Central Florida 8 here. JU up 2 seats on that Central Florida boat, pushing on it, pushing on it. UCF still got open water on both Jacksonville 4 and Central Florida 8. UCF looking strong here, getting those catches in this cross tail. JU still sitting ahead of that Central Florida 8. JU 2 seats up still, holding strong here. UCF 4 still out ahead here. Got about a boat and a half of open water on both JU and Central Florida 8. UCF 4's got about 100 meters until they cross that 1K, that halfway mark. JU's continuing to walk on the Central Florida 8. They've got about 3 seats now on that Central Florida 8. UCF continuing to walk away from the rest of the field. UCF's got 50 meters here until they cross that 1K mark. JU following behind, Central Florida following behind. UCF has just crossed the 1K mark of the race, entering that second half, really pushing strong here. JU continuing to hold tight on that Central Florida boat, still sitting 3 seats up on the Central Florida boat. Central Florida has still got contact on that JU boat. Looks like JU just made a moved an extra seat on that Central Florida boat. JU is now up 4 seats and continuing to walk. Central Florida still got contact on JU. UCF 4 continuing to pull away. JU, they're still walking on that Central Florida boat, but Central Florida is not letting it go easy. They're not letting it go easy. Looks like Central Florida's taking a move here, getting more seats back on that JU boat. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight here. UCF 4 still they've got 2 boat lengths, 2.5 boat lengths of open water now on the rest of the field. JU continuing to pull away, trying to get that open water on that Central Florida boat, but Central Florida, like I said, is not letting it go easy. UCF 4, they've got about 100 meters left here until they hit that last 500, JU, they're almost there. Almost got that open water on Central Florida here. And JU has just got open water on that Central Florida boat. But Central Florida's walking back now. They're pushing that bow ball back into that stern deck of the JU boat. UCF 4 here crossing into that last 500 meters of the race. UCF just crossed the last 500 meters of the race here. JU following behind. JU has just got open water on Central Florida now, but looks like Central Florida's taking another move here to get their foul ball back into the stern deck of JU. UCF well to that last 500 now. JU crossing the last 500, and Central Florida has just crossed the last 500 of the race. UCF looking like they're at that last 250. They're pulling up that rate, and they're bringing out the big guns. Yep. Let's go. Yeah, boats. JU has now got open water on that Central Florida boat and continuing to move. JU looking strong here with the catches. Central Florida trying to get their foul ball back into the stern deck of that JU boat, but JU is not letting it happen. JU has 2 seats of open water now on that Central Florida boat. UCF heading to that finish line here. JU bumped up that rate, trying to make a close margin on that UCF boat. Their coxswain's telling them where they are. Yep. JU's got a boat length of open water now on that Central Florida boat. UCF coming into that last 100 here, last 100 point. Yep. UCF. We got JU here. JU and Central Florida are both in the last 250 of the race. UCF cranking up that rate, bringing it home on their home course late ticket. JU has bumped up that rate, I can tell. Making those strokes strong, bringing themselves to the finish line. Thompson's yelling at them, go, go, go. UCF coming up to that finish line. I'll tell you when they finish. UCF is done. Last 100 meters for JU, last 100 meters for Central Florida. JU continuing to make that open water larger on that Central Florida crew. JU, last couple strokes of the race here, last 50 meters. Yep. JU has just crossed the finish line here. Central Florida following suit. And Central Florida has just crossed the finish line. UCF, third, four, first place. JU, third, four, second place. Central Florida, 8, third place. Great racing, ladies. In about 10 minutes, we're going to get the first and second four started. First and second four started in about 10 minutes here. Stay tuned. Again, we'll be back. The race has been delayed just a couple minutes. We're gonna get going here pretty soon, but don't worry everyone. Put the video on and get going here pretty soon. In just a few minutes here, we're going to get the second and first 4 races going. The race has been delayed just by a couple minutes here, but we're going to get going here very soon, very soon. Alright, boats are getting aligned here in lane 2. We have Jacksonville. Lane 3, we have UCF. Lane 4, we have Jacksonville. Lane 5, we have UCF. Jacksonville second 4, lane 5. Is the UCF second 4. Alignment on the boats. Quick start here. Race has started. Again, that lane 2 is Jacksonville, lane 3 UCF, lane 4 Jacksonville, lane 5 UCF. We've got UCF lane 3 pushing out ahead here in the first couple of strokes. UCF foul ball up. Jacksonville UCF here close to the range, battling out in that second place. And third, we have Jacksonville. Lane 4 and 5 here battling out. Jacksonville UCF lane 3 making themselves clear here in the first 2 of the race. UCF lane 2 has got the edge. Oh, JU lane 4 just made a really big jump. JU lane 4, foul ball out ahead. Looks like some people going to cross the finish line before that lane 2 goes. Yep. JU lane 4 really big stuff there in the end. They're going to be finishing in 3rd place. JU lane 2 in 4th place. Really great finish there. Again, in 1st place, we have UCF lane 5. In 2nd place, we had UCF lane 3. And in 3rd place, we had that JU 4th lane 4 boat. They really battled it out there until the end. And then in that lane 2 boat, we had JU at 3rd. Stay tuned for the 2nd race. We're heading back up to the start line. The 2nd heat will begin soon, momentarily. Again, we're heading back up to the start line to begin the 2nd heat race, the 2nd heat race between JU and UCF. And again, if you weren't tuned in for the last race, I'll go through the finish orders one more time. We have the 2nd, 4th, and 1st floor races. In 1st place, UCF. 2nd place, UCF. 3rd place, JU. 4th place, JU. Great work, ladies. Some tough Boats are aligned. Second 8, UCF lane 4, JU lane 3. Race has started in the first 250 of the race. Bringing up that rate. Looks like UCF and JU are even right now in the first 5 strokes of the race. Once we get up closer to the boats here, I'll let everyone know where everyone's sitting. But in lane 4, we have UCF. Second 8, lane 3, we have JU. Second 8. Lane 3 is going to be farthest from the screen, and lane 4 is going to be closest to the screen. Looks like UCF has pulled out ahead here in the first 250. UCF continuing to walk. UCF foul ball up, first place. JU, second place. Again, UCF is this boat right here, this crew right here, closest to the screen. We've got JU farthest from the screen. UCF continuing to walk up. Looks like we've got Coxon on 2 seat of the JU boat. Coxon on 2 seat of the JU boat. UCF is up 6 seats here. UCF's now up 8 seats, 9 seats. Crossing into the second 500 of the race. Bow ball of JU is in the stern deck of UCF. UCF has walked up a boat length. UCF is a boat length ahead of that JU boat. Looking to make open water here. Open water lead on that JU boat. JU still hanging in strong there. UCF's got bow ball of that JU boat. All right, UCF's making that open water on that JU boat. Looks like they're making a move here. UCF open water on that JU boat. UCF's got 2 seats of open water here and continuing to make more. JU looking strong here. UCF's half a boat length up of open water on that JU boat and continuing to open that margin against them. JU looking strong here, getting those catches in. All boats, all girls getting those catches in at the same time. With this cross tail here, it's crucial to get those blades in the water, right down to the water. UCF continuing to make open water here on JU. UCF has got a boat length of open water here on JU. And fun fact, JU, this is not their only race of the weekend. They're racing tomorrow as well at the Stetson Showdown. We've got UCF here about to cross into the second 1K of the race, halfway. They've got more than a boat length of open water here on JU. JU still looking strong, not making it easy for that UCF crew. UCF has crossed the first 1K, heading into that second portion of the race. UCF second varsity 8, or second 8, is a pretty young crew, but they're looking like they're holding their own here in their first race of the season. Yep, continuing to open that spread amongst the JU crew. They've got 2 boat lengths now of open water. UCF ahead of JU here. JU holding on strong in this second half of the race. UCF looks like they're continuing to walk, but JU is not making it easy for them. JU looking strong here, looking like they've got a great rhythm. Their coxswain's telling them where they're at. They're making it a great race today here on Lake Pickett. UCF continuing to open that margin against the JU crew. They've got about 3.5 boat lengths open of water now. UCF sounds like they're in a high 10 now. JU as well, trying to counter that, trying to get as close as they can to that margin of the second 8 of UCF. We've still got UCF in that lane 4, JU in that lane 3. UCF crossing into the last 500 here in just about 10 meters. And following behind is that JU crew. And UCF has crossed in that last 500. Getting ready to bring up the rate, bring down the split, and get on that sprint. JU about to cross the last 500 here in about 10 meters. Trying to close that margin, close that gap on that UCF crew. JU has crossed the last 500. UCF coming into that last 250 here. That coxswain is asking all from their rowers right now. They need it all in this last 250 to bring it home strong. JU looking good here in this last 500 of the race, giving it their all, their blood, sweat, and tears. It's only the beginning of the season. All right, UCF is bringing it home here in the final stretch of that race. They're about to cross the last 100 meters here. Their coxswain's telling them where they're at, asking it all from them. JU just crossed the last 250 of the race, last 250. Their coxswain's calling them up for that sprint. UCF, last 100 meters here, last 10 strokes of the race, bringing it home strong on their home course. This is the UCF JU duel today. We got UCF. I'll let you know when they cross the line here. And UCF crossed the line. We've got JU in the last 100 meters of the race here. I can hear that coxswain. She's calling those ladies up. She needs the most from them in these last 100 meters. Looking strong, looking good here. Giving it their all. Last strokes of the race, what can they do? Closing that margin. And JU has just crossed the line. This was the second varsity or second 8 race. We had in first place UCF, and in second place we had JU. Stay tuned for the first 8 race coming up here in just a few minutes. Thanks everyone for tuning in. It's been a great day of racing so far. We've got one more race left. the first 8 race. The boats are about to make their way into the starting blocks, but they have not been called in yet. So it'll be a few minutes until the race starts. Just hang on here momentarily. It'll begin soon. And if you were not tuned in for that last race, I'll go through the placings here just one more time. For the second 8, in first place we had UCF, and in second place we had JU. Both strong, really great races from both crews. In just a moment here, we'll get the first 8's race going. In lane 3, this is for the first 8 race. In stroke seat, we have sophomore Sophia Noboni Novato. In 7th seat, we have Inez Martin, junior. In 6th seat, we have Coco Detree, a junior. In 5th seat, we have Lucy Buckingham, sophomore. In 4th seat, we have Maddie Lovejoy, freshman. In 3 seat, we have Brigitte Kapler, who's a junior. In 2 seat, we have Mal Thorson, senior. And in bow seat, we have Hannah Lovejoy, senior. And sitting in coxswain seat, we have Audrey Villinger, who's also a senior. And JU will be racing in lane 4. Their stroke seat is Ann Hertz. She's a senior. 7th seat, we have Holly Rosser, junior. 6th seat, sophomore, Amy Downing. 5th seat, senior, Tegan Castleberry. 4th seat, freshman, Tate Swenson. 3 seat, sophomore, Liz Souter. 2 seat, junior, Niam Lum. And in bow seat, we have sophomore, Milena Wilcox. And in the coxswain seat, we have Kayla Pelletier. Again, lane 4 is going to be JU. They are the lane closest to the screen. In lane 3, we have UCF, the lane farthest from the screen. This is the first 8 race. We're waiting for the ladies to get their bow balls aligned, and then we'll have a quick start, and we'll begin the last race of the day, last race of the JU duel. And then again, JU is going to be racing tomorrow as well at the Stetson Showdown, so this is not the last you'll be seeing them of this weekend. Alignment within the boats is going to be a quick start here. And the ladies have started. First 8 race, JU, UCF duel, last race of the day. Bring it all home. once we get up right next to the boats, right next to the crews. Looks like UCF has their ball bow out ahead, bow out ahead. JU's still hanging on here to them. UCF has got their bow ball ahead. They're sitting in first place. JU second place. I'll tell you exactly how far ahead UCF is here in just a second. We've got UCF sitting 6 seats ahead of JU and walking here. UCF looking to make open water here in the first 500 meters of the race. We've got UCF coxswain seat sitting on bow ball seat of JU. All right, UCF is about to pull away here with open water here on JU. JU looking strong, getting their catches here in this crosstail, like I've said before. All right, we've got UCF open water on JU, lane 4. UCF lane 3, JU lane 4. UCF crossing into that second 500 meters of the race, and following behind is JU, but UCF has got open water on JU, about 2 seats of open water on JU right now. JU and UCF are both in that second 500 meters of the race here. UCF continuing to make moves from ahead. They've got half a boat length of open water now on lane 4 JU. UCF opening up that margin. JU making it as close as they can here. It's only the first 1,000 of the race. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. JU getting their blades in, looking strong. Looks like they've got a really great rhythm. Their coxswain's letting them know where they are. We've got UCF coxswain looking behind, checking out where JU is, letting her crew know. UCF's got a boat length of open water here. They've just crossed the 750, heading to that 1K mark, that halfway of the race. UCF continues to open water here on JU. UCF sitting at a boat length and a half of open water here on JU. JU pushing strong here, looking good, making those strokes nice and long in this first 1K, setting them up great for that second 1K. UCF continues to open water here. Looks like they're at about 2 boat lengths of open water here. UCF is crossing into the second half of the race. They've just finished that first 1K. Crossing the 1K mark now, and JU is following suit here. And JU has just crossed that 1K mark. Both boats heading into that second half of the race, that third 500, which is where you need to give it your all. This is where it can make or break teams here in this third 500. UCF continues to open their margin, their gap here against JU. They've got about 3 boat lengths open water here. UCF still looking back to make sure where they're at. JU coxswain looks like they're making a move here after this first 1K. Looking to be as tight of a margin as they can make it on that UCF crew. UCF coxswain, I can hear her now. She's making her athletes give it their all right now. JU looking strong here. Yep, big legs on the front end. Big legs on the front end for JU. UCF continues to move up. JU continues to try and catch them. Everybody's looking strong here. Everyone's giving it their blood, sweat, and tears here. Looks like UCF has just crossed into the last 500 of the race, and JU will cross the last 500 here in just about 50 meters. JU following behind. We've got UCF out ahead here still. JU just crossed the last 500. Last 500 here. I bet that JU coxswain is going to have her girls go to that sprint early to really close that margin on that UCF crew. UCF crossing into the last 250 here. JU following behind. Strong here. Everybody's looking strong. At the back half of the course here, the wind's picking up a little bit more. The water's a little bit more choppy. So there's a lot of focus on that technique. UCF sprout across into the last 100 meters of the race and bring it home on their home course on Lake Pickett. We've got JU in that last 250 now. UCF, last 100 meters here, giving it all they got. Last 10 strokes of the race. Coxon's calling them up. I'll let you know when they finish here. JU following their lead, crossing into the last 100 meters of the race here. And UCF has crossed the finish line. We've got JU here in their last 100 meters of the race. What can they do in these last 100 meters? Lots can be done here. Looks like they really brought up that rate, bringing it home, bringing it fast. Looking good here, about to cross the finish line. I'll let you know when. And JU has crossed the finish line. Great racing, JU and UCF today. Thank you all for supporting on the live stream and everyone who came out to the race. We hope to see you back here for the Orlando invite. But thank you to JU for coming out and racing with us. And now, after the racing is done, like I said in the beginning, the Petrikis family has graciously donated dinner so both crews can eat together and really enjoy that camaraderie as teams. Great racing, everyone, and have a good night.